Good morning, guys, ladies. Greg, I got a quick question for you. Are you still on Mac Island?
I have blown the island up. I'm like the Roadrunner. I left TNT charges all over the place, and it's just rubble, a pile of rubble in the ocean. Boomer.
Thank God.
All right, well, listen, I had 1 foot on the island and 1 foot in the water, and now I have both feet in the water. I feel bad for the young man. He's trying, but I'll tell you, the mistakes that he's made are brutal. And what you saw at the end of yesterday, and most fans always say, why can't coaches hold players accountable? Well, Bill Belichick held one Mac Jones accountable for that just unbelievable interception in the red zone.
That pick.
At the end of the game, yes.
I want to know what you see, because when you look at Mac doing something like that, is it primarily in your mind mental, or is it the physical of, in that case, throwing off his back foot? Is it more mental or physical with him at this point?
It's got to be mental. It can't be physical.
Okay.
I mean, he could throw the ball fine. I mean, the fact of the matter is you drop back, you've practiced this play in practice 1,000 times, and his receiver is wide open only 10 yards further down the field than where the defenseman is. I mean, to throw it to the defender, to throw it right to the defender where he did is unexplainable. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know what he's seeing. And I will tell you this, he had nightmares on the flight back. There's no way he could have slept without any sort of pharmaceutical help, I can tell you that, because that is a nightmare for all of us who have ever played that position, to do something like that at that point in the game and not be able to come back from it and then get benched on top of it. That's all you need to know about how the coach feels about you and how the entire fan base probably feels this morning.
Boomer, if you're Bill, where do you go from here? Do you basically say, okay, you hand the keys over to Zappe, or do you still kind of ride this thing with Mac Jones?
Well, you saw the animated discussion with Bill O'Brien and Mac Jones on the bench yesterday, I'm sure, and I'm not really sure what Bill was screaming about. Probably they threw it to the wrong guy or something. But I would say that if it were me, and I'm trying to speculate here, thinking about how Coach Belichick would think about this, I got to believe that, you got to go with the backup here. I mean, there's just too many interceptions, too many mistakes in the red zone, too many things that are unexplainable other than within the head of the guy that's making all these mistakes. And if coach wants to go down with them and they want to go down with them, fine. The owner might actually even say something. Robert Kraft may say something here that I don't want to see this guy play anymore. That's how bad it's gotten at this point. And I don't think there's any turning back unless there's an injury and there's nobody else on the roster left to play.
Should Bill Belichick be fired?
I'm not going down that road, guys. I have too much respect for him as a coach. I have too much respect for everything that he has done. Now, at the end of the year, if he and Robert Kraft sit down and have a man-to-man talk and discuss the future, and there will be other jobs open around the NFL that I'm sure would love to scoop up Bill Belichick, that's between those two professional men, and I would like to think that they keep it in-house.
Well, Boomer, since we all do agree that we think it's mental when it comes to Mac Jones, Bill Belichick has to go into benching him with 2 minutes left to go, knowing that it's only going to screw him up more. It's almost the biggest FU to bench him and put Bailey in at that point. How do you even go back to him?
That's right. It's a good question, Courtney. I don't think you can. But that, like I said, that's holding a player accountable. I mean, I very rarely, I don't think I've ever seen that, honestly. I don't think I've ever seen a player benched after an interception that late in the game with the chance still to win the game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing to me what happened. And for any player who's ever played the position and has gone through the ups and downs of struggling, I can't remember the last time that I saw that exact thing happen on an NFL football field. And I think that speaks loudly, and it speaks for itself.
Boomer, you've been critical at times of the way Mac conducts himself. Post-game, he's asked about why they didn't throw the Hail Mary at the end of the first half, and he basically puts it back on the coaches and says he doesn't know why they didn't. You have an issue with that?
There's something going on. There is absolutely something going on there between the men that one is playing and two that are coaching him. It's hard to watch, actually. His post-game press conference was even harder to watch for me, just simply because I've actually sat in that chair where, you have been benched, you have been embarrassed, you know that you've played poorly, and you know that they have to hold you accountable, or the other 52 men on the roster are going to be looking at the coach and basically, mailing it in from that point on if he doesn't do something. So I mean, part of me really does feel bad for him, but part of me also knows that he's part of the problem.
Boomer, I think everybody looks to, what's the future of Bill Belichick? I think maybe, and I get that point, but is there one other Bill that we could be kind of overlooking, and that being Billy O'Brien? What's this, like, he's back in the league, and then this is kind of what he comes back to. What does this kind of do for him moving forward? Let's say if Bill Belichick does come back, does he stay with Billy O'Brien, or did Mac Jones not just ruin himself, but also ruin Billy O'Brien in the process?
He could be taking everybody down. That's the unfortunate thing about this. And, it's kind of the same thing that's going on with the Jets. I mean, they're sticking with Zach Wilson, and Zach at times is tantalizing, just like Mac Jones was his rookie year. He was tantalizing. Like, you saw that they could do it, and then all of a sudden it becomes too much for them mentally to play 4 quarters in an NFL game. It's not easy, guys. It's one of the most difficult things to do in sport, dealing with all the anxiety, the stress, the pressure, all the things that we love. That's why we play the game and play the position, because very few people can do it. But when these guys are mired in like the depressing state that they are in right now, and these coaches kind of stick with them and the GMs kind of stick with them, after a big body of work, this is not like after 3 games. I mean, this is a big body of work that we have to look at for both of these quarterbacks. It's incredibly frustrating for people like me who are covering these guys and then have to explain why they're still playing. And in most cases, it's because the alternative isn't much better, believe it or not. And the more you see the backup, the less you like. And I think that's one of the reasons why both franchises don't have anybody of significance behind them, because they don't want the fan bases screaming for that particular player. And I think that's right where the Patriots and Jets are right now.
Well, I'm trying to stay optimistic, glass half full type of gal. And do you think
your glasses yesterday at the brunch were completely full?
And they were really completely empty.
I heard all about you yesterday, Courtney.
There were a lot of them.
Oh, my God.
I know, I needed to reel it in. But do you think there's any chance that now Bailey Zappi, if they decide to go with him getting all the reps in practice, him not being put in cold with 2 minutes left to go, we could see a better Bailey Zappi?
Well, look who they're playing the next time we see them. That's
right.
The Giants. It's the Tankathon Bowl. Right now the Giants have the number 2 overall draft pick. The Patriots are number 3 on that list. None of the players or coaches are thinking about the next year's draft. I can tell you that, Courtney. All I can tell you is that they're going to be playing just an absolutely a brutal Giants team that are a complete mess. And I know you think that the Patriots are a mess right now, and maybe they are, but the Giants have come apart at the seams. I mean, they're playing with a 3rd-string undrafted free agent. His name's Tommy DeVito. He's from Jersey, still lives with his parents. His mom still makes him dinner, still does his clothes. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, I mean, that's what the Patriots are going to be walking into in 2 weeks. And who knows what the Giants are going to look like after this week when they play the Commanders. So it is the Tankathon Bowl, like I said, folks, and everybody can look forward to next year's draft if you're one of these teams and their fans.
Question of the week for Boomer is brought to you by McFarland Energy, the trusted source in Greater Boston, the North Shore, and all of Cape Cod when it comes to home heating, oil delivery, and HVAC work. Should C.J. Stroud be in the MVP conversation at this point?
A bunch of guys in the NFL today said yes. I would say he's probably approaching discussion level. I know he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year. We all know that. Back-to-back weeks now, over 350 yards passing. Remarkable young man. Remarkable what he's doing. See, this is what really ignites a fan base is when you have a player doing exactly what CJ's doing right now for the Houston Texans. So he's going to be in the conversation if he continues to play like this. But we still have, believe it or not, we still have a long way to go. We're only about halfway through. And unfortunately, Courtney, every Sunday, if it's like last Sunday for you, this is going to be a long year for you.
I was going to say, for some of us, it's going to be longer than it's going to be for others.
Yeah.
All right, Boomer. As always, a pleasure, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.
The good thing for you guys, you only have to deal with one team. I got to deal with 2 of them. All right, have a great day if you can. See you.